weapons were used in Ukraine, would that trigger a military response from NATO?
It would trigger a response in kind. We would respond if he uses it. The nature of the response would depend on the nature of the use. I did not say that, in fact, the sanctions would deter him. Sanctions never deter.
The president believes that sanctions are intended to deter.
The purpose of the sanctions, in the first instance, is to try to deter Russia from going to war.
We want them to have a deterrent effect, clearly, and he hasn't invaded yet.
The allied relationship is such that we have agreed that the deterrence effect of these sanctions is still a meaningful one.
Sanctions are not an end to themselves. They serve a higher purpose, and that purpose is to deter and prevent.
Can win at a distance, but if he doesn't, he will win hand to hand. And what he understands is he has nothing to fear from the United States. Forward deploy NATO troops into places like the Baltics or into Poland. We had an understanding at the end of the Cold War we wouldn't do that because that would provoke the Russians. The response is to say, you broke the understanding of the end of the Cold War, and now we're going to have NATO troops on your frontier. That's a way to send a message that means something and is not just hot air.
Defendants maliciously conspired to weave a false narrative that their Republican opponent, Donald J. Trump, was colluding with a hostile foreign sovereignty, which, of course, we expose right here on this program. We're also learning that the Manhattan DA, Alvin Bragg, has reportedly suspended the probe into Donald Trump's business practices, an investigation not backed up by any solid evidence, and an investigation that appeared to just be another excuse to go after President Trump and his entire family. Here with reaction, President Trump's attorney, Alina Habba, is with us, along with Fox News legal analyst Greg Jarrett. I like this lawsuit, Alina. I think this holds people accountable, because we've not
received the letter on your screen. It's on behalf of President Biden from the White House, requesting that I resign from the President's Council on Sports, Fitness, and Nutrition. It's beyond sad that Joe Biden would politicize such an important issue like health. In fact, let me offer a suggestion. The doctor he should ask to resign is Dr. Anthony Fauci, for a multitude of obvious reasons.
So scared about us beating Raphael Warnock that he has asked me to resign from my unpaid position on the President's Council on Sports, Fitness, Nutrition. Here with reaction, Pennsylvania Republican Senate candidate Dr. Oz is with us. I loved your response. I loved the...
Whoa. No, I'm thanking you. So someone I haven't called on before. You. Who are you? What was the first question? You're playing a game with me. I'm not supposed to say where I'm going, am I? Has never been more united than it is today. We've built that same unity with the European Union and with the leading democracies of the G7. Sanctions never deter. You keep talking about that. Sanctions never deter.
Yeah. Sanctions are intended to deter. They're meant to prevent and deter a large-scale invasion of Ukraine.
Deter Russia through sanctions.
The sanctions are designed in the first instance to try to deter Russia from taking further aggression.
I had no intention of running for president again. And until I saw those folks coming out of the fields in Virginia carrying torches and carrying Nazi banners and literally singing the same vile rhyme that they used in Germany in the early 20s, or 30s, I should say. And then when the gentleman you mentioned was asked what he thought, and a young woman was killed, a protester, he said, there are very good people on both sides. The election is on making sure that we retain the House and the United States Senate so that I have the room to continue to do the things that I've been able to do in terms of grow the economy and deal in a rational way with American foreign policy and lead the world, be the leader of the free world. I say to people at home, imagine if we sat and watched the doors of the Bundestag broken down and police officers killed and hundreds of people storming in. Or imagine if we saw that happening in the British Parliament or whatever. How would we feel?